Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addictive makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now, I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, palettes, blush, highlight, bronzer, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we are going to be doing a ranking of all of my collab products that are face products. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me, we're getting into it right now. So I believe this is going to be the second video of the week that's coming up. They should already have had an eye topper and lip product collab ranking video come out, and then on Friday you should be seeing all of my eyeshadow palettes that are ranked, that are collabs. So in between that though, we're talking face products. So I just wanted to come in, and I'm going to give you like 3 honorable mentions first, because none of them are products that I like truly ranked, because they just were so kind of outside everything else. But I did want to mention that I have them in case you were like, hey, I know you have more collab products than that. You're right. So I do have, these are super old, but I do have the Smashbox Photo Finish So Chill Coconut and the Centering Citrus Primer Waters. And these were a collab. Does it even say the girl's name on it? Probably not. They were a collab product, I remember that much. They had like 3 different ones, and the other one was like a weird like pine fragrance or something silly. So I didn't pick that one up, but I picked up 2 of each of these, and I now have just a smidge of this one left and about a 3/4 of a bottle of this one left. Eventually I'll get rid of them completely. But I did want to mention them, honorable mention. They do exist, they are a collab product, but I didn't feel like they would be appropriate to rank anywhere in the rest of my collection. The next one to talk about is my Pura and Barbie finishing spray. I like this. It's an illuminating finishing spray, so if you shake it up you can see kind of all the illumination within the bottle, which I think is really pretty. The only thing is that the actual like spray mechanism is very temperamental, and for some reason does not always want to spray, so it's kind of annoying to try to get it to actually work. I can't always get it to work, which is sort of a like frustrating thing for me. So I think eventually I'll have to transfer the actual liquid within this into a different bottle to try to be able to use it, but I do think it's really pretty. I love the like sheen of the packaging, so that exists. And then the last thing that I have that's collab, that's kind of a runner-up, not really ranked kind of thing, is the Pura and Barbie brushes. This is just one of the brushes. I believe there was 5 in the collection. They have these cute little like rhinestone bows, which I really like. I love the actual like brush shapes that they had put together. Most of the other ones are dirty and need to be cleaned. But I just wanted to show you guys that I do have those. I think they're really pretty. They were really nice. When I bought the stuff from the Pura and Barbie collection, they were 50% off. And then there was an overlapping 30% off coupon code. So I got a really good deal on those products. Otherwise, I don't think I would have purchased them, because I just didn't think the price like justified, you know, the quality didn't justify the price, was my thought. Alright, now let's get into the face palettes. So I will warn you in advance, there are some brands, at least one in here, that I'm not really supporting right now because they're just doing like some terrible things, but for sake of thoroughness, I'm including all of those products in my ranking, and I'm ranking them in a way sort of independent of the transgressions of the owners. So just know that for now. The last place, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13th place is the Coming to America and Woman Beauty highlighter palette. I think this is a really pretty face palette. It's really pretty highlighters. The issue is most of these are just a little bit too deep for me. I did want to keep them to try to like mix them together and see if I could use them very gently as sort of a wash of color, which I can do for the most part, but I just don't tend to do that. So for me, I think this gets the least use out of anything in my kind of collab face highlight collection or face product collection, which is why it floated to the bottom. Next up is the Colored Raine and Power collection. So this collection, there was 4 different products for the face duos, and the lightest highlighter shade was included with this really bright red blush, and I just thought that looked so weird, and I chose not to get that palette because I just felt like the blush was going to be too in your face, too clownish for me. So I ended up getting the second lightest shade, which is this one. And I do think the color is very pretty. My goodness, that's soft. And the blush is very pretty, but they're both like very pigmented. So you have to kind of be a little bit careful with these two products. But I do think that you can get a really pretty look out of them as long as you do like kind of a soft hand. So I tend not to use that one as often because I have to, it's a little bit more finicky for me, but I do think the colors are really pretty. I love the packaging. I love the collab. I love the owners of, like, I love the brand. I love who they collabed with. The packaging is stunning, so I'm keeping it around for that reason. Next up is the Pura and Barbie face palette. This is, I think, the last thing that I picked up from that collection that I purchased, and I picked this up because Poplux was like raving on this, and so was Trixie Mattel. So I was like, I don't have an orange blush, let me pick this up for this orange blush. And it's a really nice blush. I think all of these blushes are really nice. Pans are a little small, so you kind of have to like be careful about how you get your brush in there to pick up the color if you're only looking to pick up one color. But I do think the colors are very pretty. The powders are very soft, they're blendable. I really enjoy it. I'm not sure that the full price would have been justified for this one, but since I got it on such a steep discount, I actually like it. And now we're into the brand that shall not be named, which is Ofra. And Ofra has done some things recently, or their brand owners have done some things recently that I certainly question and am not on board with, but I did want to rank everything for sake of thoroughness, so I'm ranking this independent of the actual, you know, brand's actions and more just looking at like color stories and things like that. So this is the Nikkietutorials Highlighter Trio. Ooh, am I missing a highlighter? Because I have her other one too. So this one has Space Baby in it, which is the like blue iridescent shade. So I wanted to pick that one up. And then I also picked up the one that was like that pinky shade too, but I don't think I have that down here. If I did, I would put it in the same spot as this one because I think the colors are really pretty, but Ofra's highlights tend to pool very icy white, and sometimes it's kind of hard to like calm that down but still keep those interesting colors. So for me, you know, I do really like this one, but it's not my like 100% favorite. Next is the Wet n Wild My Melody and Caromi blush palette. I love this blush palette. It is so pretty. I love this kind of like purpley blush. I feel like this is as purple really as you can go safely without looking like you've got a bruise on your face. So I really like this. The two highlighters in here are gorgeous. This one's more of like a lilac-y kind of one, and you can see how blinding that highlighter is based on the color changing there. And then you have this one, which is like a pink to gold kind of duochrome highlight, which again I think is just so pretty. I was debating about getting the actual eyeshadow palettes, and I kind of talked myself out of them because I felt like I had so many other palettes that were so similar, but this face palette I thought was really unique, and I love the cutesy little art here, so I did go ahead and pick it up, and I'm very happy with my purchase. Alright, the next one is the Rach Loves and Pixie highlighter palette. Again, I think Rach Loves has actually made some comments in the past that have not been very supportive in terms of women's rights to choose. So again, not about her specifically, but about the color story. I really like this. I like the way that they chose to have two very large pans that were more of like the highlight shades, and then you had these shades to kind of mix in. The goal was to mix them together, not necessarily use them all individually. I can respect the fact though that this is not going to serve the entire population in terms of like skin tones. This will not meet everybody's needs. But again, when a brand is collabing with somebody, I think it's important for them to make things that are there, like that would work for them specifically. But I think it's also really important, and this is the part that people forget, I think it's also really important that brands actually collab with people of different skin tones so that they're making collab products that work for different skin tones, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's necessarily on a particular creator to make all those different skin tone products, because most creator collabs are not going to be allowed to create like an entire line of a product. But if a company can collab with people from multiple skin tones, multiple like warm tones, cool tones, light, medium, deep, dark, then you're going to have a complete range with all these different collab products that people can choose from. So I really like this palette. Got a little off tangent, but it's a cute palette. The next one to talk about is again from Oprah. This is the Steph Tom's Milk and Cookies highlighter. It smells like milk and cookies, which is why I bought it. I was not going to pick this up until Lauren May Beauty was talking about it and was just like raving on it, and then I was like, well, I guess I'm buying this highlighter. And I think it actually does like work okay for my skin tone. You can see it kind of like right there. There's another stain over here that's a little darker, but I think it does work nicely for my skin tone. The only downside for me is the fact that it's Ofra, and literally like 2 days after I got this order in, all the stuff blew up with their brand owner posting all of their like little racist shenanigans. So I haven't really even used this on camera or anything. I've used it once like by myself because I think the color is pretty and I think it's very flattering for me, but I don't want to necessarily constantly be repping a brand that's doing like really terrible things. And I'm just kind of taking a break from them right now and hoping that they'll kind of get their act together. In that same vein, and then I think we're out of problematic city, I have the Samantha March collection, which is her River Bronzer Duo, which looks like this. I've hit that one pretty hard. I think I'm probably going to hit pan soon. I have the Chiclet Blush Duo, which I've also hit pretty hard, and the Start Inspired Highlighter. I think of everything, I've probably not used this one nearly as much as the other two, but I do think the quality is really nice. I think the color is really nice, and on my particular skin tone, I think they're very flattering. So I know other people of other skin tones have, some people have said that works for them, some people haven't. I think that's reasonable given the fact that it's only one shade of each product. You're not going to have a range that works well for everybody. But again, if brands can start collabing with people that are different skin tones, then we're going to get collab products that are made for different skin tones. So alright, we are almost done. I'm so sorry, my battery died. But anyway, the next one is really old, but this is the Lorac Cosmetics and Pirates of the Caribbean face palette. I did have the eyeshadow palette. I decluttered it to my aunt because I felt like I really wasn't getting a whole lot of use out of it, and I felt like she could get more use out of it. But the face palette I had to keep. Even though this bronzer is like basically a highlight for most people, for my ghostly skin, it actually works as a really soft bronzer. These highlighter shades work so beautifully, and then you've got a matte and a luminous blush here. I really love every single time I've used this. I've been so happy with the way that my makeup comes out. It stays on really nicely. It's so easy to apply. They're so soft and buttery smooth. Oh my gosh, it's like silk. It's like silk. I'm obsessed. And I feel like I need to just go back in and use this again like some more because I just really love. I take this traveling. I mean, I love this palette, so that is why it made it up so high to number 3. Number 2, this is actually a nice counterbalance to some of the negativity that some of these brands have brought into this ranking. This is the Midas Cosmetics and Neon MUA Dawn face palette. So they actually set out to prove that even with a small shade range, you can actually create a varied enough shade range to meet most, if not everybody's needs for face palettes. And they did just that. They have 4 face palettes. This is the Dawn one again because I'm a ghost. But they have a noon, a dusk, and a midnight, I think. And they go from super light to super deep dark. And this is the one that they have for me. There's a contour in here, bronzer, blush, and highlight. I really like this palette. I think it's so pretty. If I had one criticism, it would be that this blush is very like light pink, and I wish I had more of like a peachy kind of a color rather than just like a truly light pink. The next face palette down has more of a peachy blush, but I think the highlight in that one would have been too deep, so that's why I chose this one anyway. But I think the highlighter is absolutely stunning. It's kind of got that like super shock type consistency to it, but it's very luminous, very beautiful. Every time I wear it, I have just absolutely no complaints. It's right here. I have no complaints about this palette. I think it's so pretty, and I love the message that they sent by creating this collaboration, which was you can do a complete shade range with a limited number of products if you space them out far enough in the shade range. Like, and then my number 1 collab product of all of my face products is actually a highlight, and it is the Becca Parisian Lights highlight. Looks like this. I still have, you can still see most of my Eiffel Tower in there, and I can't remember the name of the collaborator for this, but this is like a straight up pinky gold duochrome type highlighter shade. I'm obsessed with those types of shades. I mean, you can see it right there. Ooh. Yes, it's so pretty. I am obsessed with that kind of shade. I love it as eyeshadow. I love it as blush. I love it as highlighters. I love it no matter what. And so when I saw this come out, I was like, yep, buying it. And I bought it like right after it released. and I've been so happy with it ever since. If you want something similar to this but can't find that, you may want to try the Lilac Geode from Becca, which I just picked up. It has more of like a lavender type base than a pink base in the Paris Lights, but it pulls that same kind of gold shift, and it looks really pretty. It's actually what I'm wearing today, so if you can see the highlight here today, I think it's a really pretty alternative if you can't find this original, because I think this has long since been retired. But yeah, so with that being said, that is all of my face products that are also collabs ranked from beginning to end. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to tune in on Friday, where I talk about all of my eyeshadow palettes that are collabs ranked from beginning to end. I would really enjoy if you got a chance to check that one out. I want to thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!